Have you ever felt that someone cares about you, but they've never actually said it? Not in obvious ways. Not in dramatic confessions. But in quiet moments that almost go unnoticed. What if I told you, sometimes the deepest love isn't loud, it's silent, patient, and already years old? Welcome to Psycho Library. Today, we're uncovering 5 silent signs that someone has loved you longer than you think. Not crush-level attraction. Not temporary infatuation. But the kind of steady emotional attachment that builds quietly in the background. Because here's the problem. Most people expect love to be obvious. Grand gestures. Constant messages. Clear declarations. And when they don't see those, they assume nothing is there. But psychology tells us something different. Love, real love, often hides in behavior patterns, not words. So let's start with the first silent sign. Sign 1, they remember the smallest, most irrelevant details about you. Here's something interesting. According to cognitive psychology, we remember what we emotionally value. If someone consistently remembers the story you told them once about your childhood fear, your coffee order from 2 years ago, the random dream you mentioned at 1 a.m., the date of something important to you, that's not accidental. The brain prioritizes emotionally significant information. When someone is in love, their attention system becomes tuned to you. It's called selective attention bias. They don't just hear you. They store you. And here's the part most people miss. They might not even realize they're doing it. You mention once that you hate crowded places. Months later, they suggest a quiet cafe instead of a busy restaurant. You forget something you told them. They don't. That's not good memory. That's emotional investment. Because when someone loves you for a long time, your details become part of their internal world. But here's the question. If they care this deeply about the small things, what are they feeling about the big ones? Let's go deeper. Sign 2, they show up, consistently, without needing credit. We live in a world where people announce everything they do. So when someone supports you quietly, pay attention. Psychology calls this pro-social behavior without reward expectation. In simple terms, they help you, show up for you, and protect you, without making it about themselves. Notice the pattern. They check in when you disappear. They help when you're stressed, without being asked twice. They defend you when you're not in the room. They celebrate your wins like they're personal victories. And they don't keep score. That's important. Because infatuation seeks validation. But long-term love seeks stability. When someone has loved you for a long time, they're not trying to impress you anymore. They're trying to protect the connection. But here's where the problem appears. Sometimes we mistake consistency for just being nice. We normalize it. We say, oh, that's just how they are. But ask yourself this. Are they like that with everyone? Or just you? Because emotional loyalty, sustained over time, is rarely random. And if they've been steady for years, there's usually a reason. But consistency isn't the only quiet signal. The next one is even more revealing. Sign 3, they get subtly jealous, but they control it. Jealousy has a bad reputation. But controlled jealousy? That's attachment. Research in attachment psychology shows that when someone feels emotionally bonded, their brain activates threat responses when they perceive potential loss. But here's the difference. Immature attraction reacts loudly. Mature, long-term love reacts quietly. So what does that look like? Their tone changes slightly when you mention someone new. They ask extra questions, but casually. They go silent for a moment, then recover. They don't explode. They don't accuse. They regulate. Why? Because they don't want to risk losing you. The agitation here is subtle. They care more than they're allowed to show. And that emotional restraint? It often means they've been feeling this way for a long time. But jealousy alone isn't proof. The next sign confirms emotional depth on another level. Sign 4, they mirror you, without realizing it. Have you ever noticed them picking up your phrases? Matching your texting style? Adopting your interests over time? This isn't coincidence. It's called the chameleon effect, a psychological phenomenon where people unconsciously imitate those they feel connected to. When someone mirrors you, they align their humor with yours. Their body language subtly matches yours. Their energy adjusts to your mood. Even their goals start syncing with yours. Mirroring builds closeness. But here's the hidden truth. We don't unconsciously mirror people we feel neutral about. We mirror people we're emotionally drawn to. And if this mirroring has been happening slowly, naturally, over years, that's not surface-level attraction. That's integration. You've become part of how they see themselves. And when someone integrates you into their identity, that kind of love usually didn't start yesterday. But there's one final sign that ties everything together. And this one is the most powerful. Sign 5, they prioritize your emotional safety over their ego. This is rare. And it's the clearest indicator of long-term love. Watch how they handle conflict. Do they try to understand your feelings, even when they disagree? Apologize without turning it into a competition? Soften their tone when they realize you're hurt? Choose peace over being right? According to relationship psychology, long-term emotional attachment shifts the brain from self-protection to bond protection. In other words, they stop fighting to win. They start fighting to keep you. If someone has loved you quietly for years, your emotional stability matters to them more than their pride. They would rather swallow ego than lose access to you. And that's not casual affection. That's deep attachment. Because protecting your feelings means they see you as part of their future, even if they've never said it out loud. Now think carefully. Is there someone in your life who remembers everything about you? Shows up without applause? Feels jealous but hides it? Mirrors your energy? And protects your heart during conflict? If yes, maybe they didn't start loving you recently. Maybe they've been loving you quietly, all along. Here's the real question. Have you been overlooking someone who's been emotionally loyal to you for years? Or, are you the one loving silently? Comment below. Which sign felt the most real to you? If this video made you see someone differently, don't ignore that awareness. Psychology isn't just about understanding others, it's about recognizing hidden truths before it's too late. If you value deep, psychology-based insights into human behavior and relationships, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Psycho Library, and turn on notifications, because the next truth might be the one you didn't know you needed. Some love stories are loud. But the most powerful ones? They've been unfolding quietly, right in front of you. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.